Welcome to NBA Countdown, presented by Mountain Dew Ice.
Paul, we just referenced you as the most successful Celtic in the last 25 years. That felt good.
20 pounds ago. That highlight was 20 pounds ago.
Yeah, we all were. Studio H, that is us right now. We're in Los Angeles. That, of course, is Stan Van Gundy.
Coach in the building.
Somewhat coachable Paul Pierce. My name is Michelle. I think it's a really good NBA doubleheader tonight. Celtics, Raptors, Pelicans, Warriors. We have a lot to say and assess about all those teams. Did you hear what Terry Rozier said? We'll get to that. But we're running behind. Let's run the stack. And, of course, we start where we always start, right here in Los Angeles. The health of one LeBron James and the corresponding health of his team. His agent Rich Paul telling ESPN that LeBron will miss at least the next 2 Lakers games, meaning he'll have missed at least 13 straight by the time he gets back. Now, they have peaked as high as 4th in the West when he was injured. They're down to barely squeaking by in that 8th spot right now. Reports are that he's going to practice and all that good stuff. But even when he does return, are they legitimately at risk of not making the playoffs at all?
I don't think they're at risk of not making the playoffs, but that shows you how great LeBron is, because before they got hurt, he was a 4th seed. But the thing is about this injury, he's getting older. If I was the Lakers and upper management, I would hold him out as long as possible, because realistically, what are the expectations for the Lakers this year? I don't think they're a championship contender team. I think they're going to put all their eggs in the basket next year. So even if you held them out to an all-star break, let these young guys develop. Because what's the ceiling?
I agree.
What is it really? There's no need to rush him.
Are you okay with that?
Well, I wouldn't hold him out. I'd hold him out, though, to make sure that his health is taken care of. I mean, you need this guy. He signed a 4-year contract. You want him for the length of that. But I do think they're at risk of making the playoffs, as is everybody to me, other than the top 3 teams. I mean, you look at those standings, the Jazz are at risk of not making the playoffs. The Kings, the Spurs, the Clippers, the Blazers, they're all at risk. So I think the Lakers are. And if LeBron's out longer, yeah, they're definitely at risk.
Well, you did touch on the overall long-term big picture is the health here, and he is getting older, obviously, in his 16th season in the league. Where's the concern level on that as far as moving forward?
I'm very concerned. LeBron has never missed this many games. I mean, I know we've looked at him as superhuman, but we know this window is very small right now, championship. Whenever LeBron's on the team, it's championship or bust. And so, really, this is a throwaway year. I mean, they'll make the playoffs, maybe make some noise, get out the first round, but this championship or bust for LeBron. As he gets older, I don't want to risk further injury to him. I mean, they might be better off not even making the playoffs.
Whoa, this town.
I mean, let's see.
This town is already...
I disagree. I mean, you would know better. You're from here, but you sign LeBron and don't make the playoffs. I don't think you're going to have Lakers fans real happy. And I'm not real concerned about, though, him down the line. I mean, this isn't a structural thing. He didn't tear an ACL. He didn't tear an Achilles. He didn't even tear a rotator cuff or something in his shoulder. He's got a muscle injury. He'll heal. He's pretty much superhuman. I think he'll be fine down the road.
It's about the overall big picture, though.
Right.
I mean, I'm not saying they won't make not to make the playoffs, but this is the big picture. We know this is not a championship year. Now, next year, they're going to go all in.
Right.
When they got the assets, say they get a pick. The next couple years after this is the years that you take advantage of.
So hard to ask people to wait another year, though. It's so hard. Anyways, Warriors made a statement last night, as if they were reminding us. High altitude of Denver, 51 first-quarter points, 10 threes, on their way to a 31-point beatdown over the Nuggets. They reclaimed first in the West, and even the Warriors seem to be quite impressed with their own performance.
Obviously, there's not going to be very many record-setting quarters every night, but it shows you what we're capable of when we're hitting on all cylinders. It's beautiful to watch, and it's more fun to be a part of.
I don't remember a better first quarter. That was a fireworks show.
Your reaction to that game?
Statement game, obviously.
What is that?
They look for motivation. There's certain things that motivate them throughout the year, and Denver being ahead of them is a motivation. That's why they're up for it.
Well, look, there's nobody who's best is better than the Warriors' best. We know that.
Right.
Now the Warriors haven't played at their best as often as some other teams this year, but everybody at their best, this is by far the best team. And look, I mean, a lot of these threes in the first quarter were 2 steps beyond the three-point line. So people who want to get on the Nuggets for not being ready, I don't know how you stop those shots.
Yeah, Paul.
Come on, this is the Warriors. They're bored with the
I do think they were reminding
I agree
everyone.
with that.
They're bored with the season.
I agree
This was just a game they're like, look, let's make a statement. Let's
They
make
made
a
one.
statement right now. This is the team ahead of us. Let's show them who the #1 team is.
It was an odd night for points. And then, of course, there's James Harden. You can pick any adjective you want. Sick, insane, unstoppable. Everything works. No Chris Paul, no Clint Capella, no problem. He had 57 points on Memphis on Monday. His efficient 57 on 33 attempts accounted for over half of his team's winning score. 17 straight games that he's had over 30 points. He plays tonight against the Nets, a team that we have all enjoyed watching this season so far. Let's look ahead, though, because postseason really is what it's all about, is the way he's been playing and the way that team is constructed right now going to work in the postseason.
I don't think so. I mean, you're going to need more than one guy. But look, they're going to get people back. I mean, they're going to get Capella back. They're going to get Chris Paul back. They're going to get Eric Gordon back. Right now, he has to carry the load, but that's not going to play in the postseason against better teams with time to prepare. They're going to come at him harder. Probably more double teams take the ball out of his hands. He's going to need some help.
My only concern is he's doing this because he has to. It's just that we know that James Harden is used to carrying a big load, but it just seems every year he has these great regular seasons. He seems worn down by the playoffs. I mean, but he's doing what he's got to do. I mean, it's going to be hard not to vote this guy for a two-time MVP with the way he's playing, but he just has to carry such a load that I feel like it affects him by the time
It almost
comes.
Because you don't want to have a repeat of that Game 6 against the Spurs where a lot of people thought maybe he was tired because of the season he had to put. And, you know, if you don't change what you're doing is sort of the definition of insane. And right now I feel like we're watching him do everything. That cannot be a good method as we get closer to playoff time.
But they don't have a choice right
I
now.
agree.
They have nobody else. And look, we're talking about teams' risk of not making the playoffs.
Right.
Take him out of the lineup for a few games, and they'll slide right out of the playoff race. That's how close it is in the West. There's nothing guaranteed. They have no choice. And so he's got to carry this load. Look, he's got a couple things going for him. They play slow. He gets to the free throw line a lot, which he has to take some contact for, but he gets some rest. And to be generous, he picks his spots on defense. Not many of them either.
It's a very diplomatic way of saying that. Well done. Yeah, you know what, Big? This is a newsflash. Toronto's better with Kawhi. Fine. But did anyone think they'd be 7 games better than Boston halfway through this thing? We asked, how did that happen? Coming up. I think we're looking at this.